Welcome to Watch It Real. I'm Ira Jersey, the general manager of the men's program here at Real Central New Jersey Soccer. Today we go down to my alma mater and see two great players from our WPSL team this season that made it to the Metropolitan Division finals. It's Olivia and Jordan Mahony. Ladies, thanks very much for coming on Watch It Real. Oh no.
Hello, thanks for having us.
What she said.
So it's great stuff. So one of the great things about, having a lot of collegiate players coming here is that, obviously you guys come from a lot of different schools and you both attend the American University down at 4400 Massachusetts Avenue, Washington, D.C., 20016. I still remember it because I, too, am an alumni of the American University. So thanks very much, ladies, for for coming back home and playing and then going to play at American.
Yes, thank you for having us. It's good to get a little bit piece of home back.
So first, why don't I start with you, Olivia, because you're a senior now at American. What made you want to go down to American and study in DC?
I personally just absolutely loved the city of DC. I like how American's a little bit out of the city, so I still get a homey feel, but really close to the city if I want to be in a city. And I just love the academics and athletics that AU gave. It was the perfect balance for what I was looking for.
So were you, obviously you probably thought you were going to play soccer somewhere in school and in college. Did you target American, or did they reach out to you and were interested in you? Like, how did that process go when you were in high school thinking about attending American?
So honestly, I was very interested in the Patriot League conference. And then I absolutely love DC, so I went to a few American clinics to be seen by them. And we both expressed the same amount of interest, and then we moved forward, and I committed my junior year.
That's great. And, Jordan, you followed your sister, or was there's something else involved?
I wouldn't take it that far to say that I followed her, but definitely she was a deciding factor. I was interested in the Patriot League as well for the academics and the athletics, but we actually got recruited under different coaches. So I think that was a big difference. So when our new coach, Marsha Harper, was hired, I was expressing interest in quite a few schools in this area and in the Patriot League and at this level. And she was reaching out too, and I think it all just kind of worked out. And then knowing Olivia was here, we already had some comfort with like the school, and yeah, just made sense.
So you both mentioned academics, and I have to say, after graduating from American and then getting a couple of graduate degrees, I say that American's education really grounded me and helped me along my career path, as well as both in academia as well as after that. What specifically did you like about the academic offerings? Why don't I just start with Olivia, just because you've been there a little bit longer? Oh no, I think you guys are lagging a little bit.
You hear us?
I can now.
Hello.
Oh, the joys of live broadcasting on the internet in 2021. Maybe.
I was asking my
and what I like about the academics here.
We broke up a little bit, but
there you go. Yeah. So we're looking. Yeah. So I was just asking about what you liked about the academics at American. Maybe should we try this with maybe your camera
I just
off?
love
because you're lagging a lot.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Yes, much better. Sorry about that. So go ahead, Olivia. So what what about the academics at American kind of attracted you to there? Presumably you could have played soccer at a variety of schools.
So the academics here, I was very interested in more of like math and science. And I actually, coming in, had no idea what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to be in math and science, so I came in undecided. And a new major came up, actually, to be data science in justice and law. And I do have a funny thing for criminal minds, so that's when my parents thought that would be a pretty good choice for me. And data science is great with the math and understanding like statistics and coding. So once I found that my sophomore year, I absolutely loved learning it and being able to major in it.
Maybe a forensic data person at some point, right? Like, since you like criminal minds and that, and Jordan, you mentioned the academics that are so important in the Patriot League as well. And we had a lot of players from the Patriot League on both our USL2 team as well as the WPSL team. Was there something in particular that attracted you with the program offerings at American?
Yeah, I think all around. I also, right now I'm still undecided, so I'm not really sure what I'm majoring in yet. But I think that since DC is in such it's a great city, so that I think any route that I take, I kind of will have a good, what's the word? I don't know, there's a lot of connections in DC, so I think that I could be put in a lot of different things and have success in many things because there's so much opportunity and there's a lot of variety in DC.
So we have to get a little personal now because I asked you when we started if you were Northsiders or Southsiders, which apparently is not a thing anymore. Because
no, I haven't. No, it's not.
So I'm going to be a little meta here and ask myself some questions. So at American University, on the main campus, there's dorms on the north side of campus and dorms on the south side of campus. The dorms on the south side, assuming the names haven't changed, are Letts, Anderson, and Centennial. Mm-hmm. And Jordan, you said you live in Centennial.
Yeah, so south side.
That's the south side. That's the cool side of the shop. And that's where I lived. So I lived in Anderson and Letts. My wife, however, she lived up in Hughes Hall, which is on the north side, along with McDowell and Leonard, right? And so she was a north sider. So it was like people were really upset with me when we started dating because they were like, "You're dating a north sider? What are you doing?" Funny. But now we've been married 26 years.
That's so funny. That is just not a thing now. I have never heard of that. North side and south side,
well, it's good. Everyone's come together. We're just a more inclusive school, and Americans just much more inclusive, obviously. So talk about the things that you do away from soccer. Obviously, Jordan, you might not know yet because you've only ever known playing soccer at the university, right?
Yeah.
But Olivia, you the season winds down. Late November, you have the Thanksgiving break. You come back from break. What's been your experience the last few years? Well, obviously excluding COVID, so I guess your freshman and sophomore years. What's your experience as to what it's like going through the winter season and the spring season? What could your sister expect from kind of the cadence of the year as a collegiate soccer player these days?
I would definitely, I think the spring season is a time of reflection and understanding what just happened in the season, because you just come in and you're fully in season as a new freshman. So I think the spring is a time of reflection, seeing what you need to work on. Fitness is a big part of it. I'm not saying she's not fit, but you work fitness, you work your technique, you take on the one-on-ones with the coaches when you can, watch some film. And I think it's a real time for growth, and I think take in every second of that opportunity.
Do you think you guys will end up going to going to the gym together in the off season and staying fit and things like that?
I think they'll definitely join me over the summer getting fit.
So you're getting to the point, Jordan, where you're obviously your playing career continues and you're partway through the season, call it maybe halfway-ish, I guess at this point, given that it's October the 5th. What's been your experience so far as one of the younger, newer players on the team? What's it been like acclimating into the squad?
It's been great, actually. So we came maybe a week before preseason started. So all of us freshmen were living with the upperclassmen, which was a lot of fun. We just kind of got to know everyone right away because we had to live with them, and it was fun. And we were living in their basements and stuff. And then from then on, everyone was just super welcoming right away. like we're automatically like making jokes with each other. Like the group chat was blowing up right away. And then when it came time for soccer, it was almost more of a natural flow because we had already had like time to build that chemistry a little bit. And I think just as the season progresses and we go through our ups and downs, we just become closer and figuring things out together. It just makes it so much more fun. Like the wins are just so much more like glorious because you love who you're doing it with.
So let's pivot a little bit to this past summer, because obviously you had a great season. It was the inaugural season for Real Central New Jersey Soccer. We had both a men's and a women's program. You know, as I mentioned at the top of the show, you ladies made it all the way to the finals playing, Gotham FC's reserve team. So, pretty cool playing the reserve team for a professional organization. That was great. And, you guys celebrated your finalist trophy as if you had won, which, was excellent. Question, I guess, Olivia, I'll start with you. So, had you played in a summer league before, your other seasons, or was this the first time that you played, summer soccer before going to the college season?
So this was my first time in a summer organized conference league. I used to train over, I forget the town, but with Max Soccer, we would do college sessions, and play scrimmages, but nothing games and set practices 3 times a week, games on the weekends, and it was a record that we kept with.
So how would you compare this summer, and do you think it maybe helped you stay match fit better than the alternative of more just training as opposed to having competitive matches? I mean, what was the difference you think in your own mindset and how you came into this season?
Mm-hmm. I definitely think there was just a slight difference because we were able to play 11v11 often with the amount of girls we had on the team. And it definitely felt more like a team oriented. So I never lost that in the summer because we were always together in everything we did, whatever the practice was 3 times a week in the summer. That can be hard with internships, jobs, wanting a summer, wanting a break. So I think it just brought another team unity over the summer. And then training wise, yeah, you're able to stay 90-minute fit throughout the entire summer long season. Cause I think we were from May to almost I left.
Yeah,
I think we had like 2 weeks until I left for school.
Yeah.
So that was definitely different. And I loved the whole experience.
That's great. So Jordan, as someone who played, as a rising freshman, finishing your senior year of high school, I mean, I guess you hadn't even graduated when you started playing with the team. Is that right? Yeah, because we on the men's side, we had someone who was in that same situation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's playing the Patriot League too. He's actually playing at Lafayette. So
Jack Gordon.
Jack Gordon, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he went to my high school.
Yeah, there. Oh, okay. There you go. Pennington folks, right? So what was that experience like, having played with college players? Like, these weren't college age players. These were actual collegiate, Division 1, 2, and 3, players who had done it for a couple of years, people like your sister. So what was that like in helping you prepare for, for your college season?
I think it was great because everyone talks about how the level is just like a different level. Like, in high school, when you're a freshman in high school, you're playing against girls that are 4 years older than you. But when you're in college, it's again the 4 years, but it's a different 4 years of growth. And I think that being able to just be thrown in there and like work it out before you're there is a nice, helpful transition. Like we were playing with girls on Princeton, Belmont, Wilkes. We played against girls from like LaSalle, like all over the Duke, all over the place. And I think that having
ODU, as you know, right?
Yes, Wiley.
Oh, yes.
Murray State.
Yeah, we saw that great picture of you guys with from Old Dominion. Yeah.
So I think that having actual experience with girls from all over the place, all different schools, really helps because that's the most realistic situation you're going to get yourself in. Like you can practice with your club team all you want or your high school team, but it's not as real as actually doing it. So I really enjoyed doing it.
So let's talk about this. If American University for whatever reason hadn't been an option, what was your fallback, Olivia? Like what would you have done? Would you have said, no way, I'm not going to college because it's American or nothing? Or, did you have kind of other schools that you had considered?
I was looking at a decent amount of the Patriot League schools, including Loyola, Lehigh, a little bit of BU. Is there anywhere? Can you think of? Holy Cross a little bit. Just a lot of the Patriot League. So I don't think if I didn't get American, I'd be done. I wouldn't give up per se quite yet. I'd want to, because I did commit early on in my junior year, so it wasn't like a dire end of the last chance situation. So I would have continued to pursue and make the best of any situation that came apart.
I'd say Lehigh versus DC is a little
Yes.
bit of a different feel and flavor for sure. So,
Yes.
so in the same question to you then, Jordan, did you have, if you hadn't gone to American, did you also primarily look at Patriot League schools, or were there other, other schools that you had considered as well?
Yeah, I definitely was in the Patriot League a little bit, a couple schools in the MAC, and I think like if American was my top choice. So if it didn't work out, then of course it wouldn't be the end of the world because I would be able to figure it out. And soccer is something that I care enough about to not just forget about. But American was my top choice, and I was really like thankful and happy to be able to have an opportunity here.
So, I'm a little bit reluctant to bring this up given the environment and the unfortunate, news coming out of some of the NWSL. Everything going on down at the North Carolina Courage and some of the horror stories that we're hearing that just have no place in anywhere in society that it shouldn't happen. But assuming that things are better and you'd feel comfortable playing professionally, would either of you, are either of you considering that? Or, Olivia, it's very close for you, right? The NWSL draft is in a couple of months. So, is that something maybe you're thinking the outside of your mind you want to throw your hat in the ring for? Or, you're going to concentrate on academics and looking for your career outside of soccer?
I think when the season's over, I could look into a 5th year, but I think my time ends with college soccer, and I'm ready to pursue what my future holds with careers and life after, and take everything I learned from college soccer with me.
Well, I hope that whatever you do, maybe you'll stick around and help coach or something like that, right? So we need great coaches, and particularly like, we had, you can come back with Real Central New Jersey, because we'll hold our coaching license classes again that we do in conjunction with New Jersey Youth Soccer. So I hope everyone actually in our club actually takes advantage of these classes, because we make them free for our players. So I hope you guys will take advantage of that and continue coaching, because I think we need more female role models among a lot of our kids and youth who are playing. So Jordan, it's way too early to say, but do you have stars in your eyes and think maybe you might wind up thinking about going the pro route?
I mean, if it's there, yeah. But that has never been like my 5-year plan. Never been in like, I'm gonna go play pro. But if it happens to lead me there, I would love to be there.
So, well, that's great. I mean, there's, just so you guys know, on at least on the men's side, I know one of our players is in the crosshairs of a lot of USL League One and USL Championship teams. So, and now that there's going to be a professional second division for the women's game in 2 years, there's a lot more playing spots, right?
Yes,
even if they only have 8 teams, suddenly there's another 160 professional players and player spots that are going to be around. So with that, ladies, unless you have anything else, you want to say hi to your parents and tell them that you're studying hard.
Definitely watching. Hey, Mom and Dad.
I definitely did my homework before.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
If anyone else.
So, well, that's great. Ladies, thank you very much for coming on. That's Olivia and Jordan Mahony, 2 of the players from our WPSL team, our highly successful WPSL team. And, I won't tell Coach Thompson that you broke curfew to be on the show tonight. So anyway.
All right. Thanks, Ira. Have a nice night.
Thanks very much, ladies.